everyone, Ashlie Johnson with Brooke Human Resource Solutions, here to talk to you a little bit about recruiting today. As many of you are experiencing, the dairy industry is struggling to find enough workers to keep their dairy farms working at full capacity. Let's face it, labor shortage is a top concern and a constant headache for not only dairy farmers from coast to coast, but pretty much all employers at this point. Attracting and keeping employees is a shared challenge for dairy farmers facing competitive labor markets and labor shortages. I think the labor shortage topic stems from many factors, including an aging population and the migration of the younger generations to cities where they have opportunities for different types of jobs, and that's really reducing the pool of available workers. While dairy farms across the country are facing similar labor problems, some states have different challenges. They may have a more established community, for example. New York might be more attractive for employees than Pennsylvania because they have higher starting wages, overtime pay, and a strong farm worker union presence. However, although those things are great for the employee, they are potential headaches and challenges for the employer because those higher wages are difficult to insert into the budget. Let's talk a little bit about the resources that are available to you. Brooke HR is available to provide resources, including hiring tips for dairy farms, human resource processes and procedures, HR templates, including job applications, job descriptions, new hire checklists. I have a handbook that certainly could be very useful to make sure that you are operating in a compliant fashion and that you aren't leading yourself down the path to find challenges when it comes to your hiring practices. Brooke HR helps farmers who want basic HR tools and practices for their employees to increase that worker engagement, reduce the employee turnover, and manage the liabilities that can arise from the safety risks of dairy farming, as well as compliant practices in management of those dairy staff. Having and following a consistent new hire process for all employees is really essential. And I always recommend following a consistent process for all of your employees. Having a good recruitment and hiring process in place impacts dairy operations in a lot of ways, but some of those are, it helps farms hire qualified, responsible, and reliable employees, decreases turnover, increases retention and employee engagement, decreases the chance of legal issues arising from the recruitment and hiring process, and then lowers the cost associated with training and turnover. If you are having to train and then retrain and then retrain and rehire for the same position over and over, there's a significant cost that's associated with doing that work. So it's really important to do everything that you can to keep the good employees that you have, so you're not adding to your bottom line with multiple bouts of training and turnovers. No matter the size of the dairy, it's really important to have a consistent hiring process to avoid those claims of partiality or discrimination. This means that every step in the hiring process should be followed for all new hires. Even if the owner or the manager knows the new hire, there might be family ties there. A step can only be skipped or added if the new hire process is revised for a specific class of employees. So for example, if the position doesn't require any driving, then you can skip the motor vehicles record check. If that position doesn't have access to any finances, you potentially could skip the background credit check. But if you have a process that says we check criminal background checks for all employees, unless you can claim a reason why you would skip that step for one particular employee or a class of employees, you really are putting yourself in danger of a claim of discrimination. So it's really important, and those claims can get really expensive really fast when you have to defend yourself and you have to pay for an attorney. So simply following a checklist every time is going to save you a lot of headache, and it's also going to save you from the chance of liability. When we're talking about recruitment, some additional benefits I think are good to think about. I think often dairy farms, increasing pay is really hard to do, especially when your margins are really tight. There was recently a Glassdoor study that said 79% of employees would rather have new or additional benefits instead of pay increases. So providing a competitive benefits package allows farms to remain competitive in the labor market by attracting those skilled and qualified workers that want those benefits. It can also set you apart from your competition who pay similar wages to their workers and offer similar work. If you can have that unique and quality benefit package, that makes you more attractive than the other guy. Some of those benefits to consider are traditional things like health, dental, life, disability coverage, but then some that are a little less so, meals and lodging, interesting ways to pay time off, bonuses, incentive pay, differentials for weekend work, things like that. By offering these fair and competitive compensation and benefits packages, farms can really be sure that they're attracting and retaining the skilled and qualified workers that they want. I think an interesting conversation is around housing as well. Providing housing can be a valuable benefit for farm workers. Housing options can be scarce, especially in rural areas, and offering employee housing can reduce the burden on those employees to find somewhere to live, and then to avoid long commutes and provide them with an affordable place to stay. And that all is attractive to qualified farm workers. If you're considering making changes to your benefits or other HR processes to improve your recruitment and retention rates, please contact Brooke HR today. I'm here to help. I thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from you soon.